A closer look at how spectrum policy and licensing could determine the future of U.S. drone operations. The FCC is emerging as a major force in shaping the U.S. drone industry. The industry was stunned when the FCC moved to broadly limit foreign drones and components. Now, the agency is considering other ways that its sphere of influence may impact the domestic drone industry. Yesterday, the Federal Communications Commission, FCC, asked for public input on how to support American drone dominance. But beneath that broad policy goal lies a more practical question, one directly in the purview of the FCC. How will drones communicate at scale? Reliable communications are the foundation of advanced drone operations. As the industry moves toward beyond visual line of sight, BVLOS, flights and greater automation, the current system may not be enough. The FCC's latest public notice suggests the agency is now ready to rethink how drones use spectrum and how those decisions could shape the future of the industry. Drones still depend on crowded airwaves. Today, most drones operate using unlicensed spectrum. These are the same frequency bands used by Wi-Fi routers, Bluetooth devices, and other consumer electronics. The most common bands include 2.4 GHz and 5.8 GHz. They are widely available and easy to use. But they also come with a trade-off. These bands can be crowded and subject to interference. The FCC is now asking whether these frequencies can support the next phase of drone operations. That question reflects a growing concern. What works for short-range flights may not work for large-scale, safety-critical operations. Why BVLOS changes the equation. As drone operations expand, reliability becomes more important. Short-range flights can tolerate some signal disruption, but BVLOS operations depend on stable, continuous links between the drone and the operator. These links are often called command and control, or C2. For advanced use cases, including delivery, inspection, and public safety, communications must meet a higher standard. In some cases, they may need to approach the reliability of traditional aviation systems. This shift puts pressure on the current spectrum model. Modernizing how drones get access to spectrum. One of the FCC's key focus areas is experimental licensing. This is the process companies use to test new technologies. The agency notes that the current system can be slow and difficult to use. It often limits where and how companies can test new drone capabilities. The FCC is now asking whether it should create a more flexible approach. Options under consideration include a dedicated experimental license category for drones, pre-approved test corridors with faster approvals, longer license durations and broader geographic coverage, simplified plug-and-play authorization models. These changes could make it easier for companies to test new systems, especially those that rely on multiple frequency bands or BVLOS operations. Opening the door to licensed spectrum. The FCC is also exploring whether drones should rely more on licensed spectrum. One key band is 5030 to 5091 MHz. This band has already been allocated for drone communications, and the FCC adopted initial service rules in 2024. Now, the agency is asking how to accelerate its use. At the same time, the FCC is revisiting whether drones should be allowed to operate in flexible use bands. These include spectrum used for cellular networks, such as LTE and 5G. Today, many of these bands restrict airborne use. The FCC is asking whether those restrictions should change. This raises a larger question. Can existing mobile networks support large-scale drone operations, or will drones require dedicated infrastructure? Revisiting past decisions. The public notice also reopens earlier questions about spectrum access. For example, the FCC is asking whether it should reconsider allowing drone operations in the 960 to 1164 MHz band. A 2020 report declined to move forward with that idea. Now, the agency is asking whether new developments justify a different approach. This signals a broader shift. As drone use cases evolve, earlier assumptions about spectrum needs may no longer apply. A multi-layered spectrum future, the FCC is not looking at a single solution. Instead, it is considering a range of options for different use cases. These include 450 MHz for long-range communications, 24 GHz for radar and detection, millimeter wave bands for high-bandwidth data. This suggests that future drone operations may rely on multiple layers of spectrum. Some bands may support control links, while others handle data transmission or sensing. Balancing growth and interference. Expanding drone access to spectrum creates new challenges. Each drone is not just an aircraft, it is also a transmitter. As more drones enter the airspace, the risk of interference increases. The FCC highlights the need to protect existing users. These include mobile networks, aviation systems, and other spectrum dependent services. The agency is asking how to support drone growth without disrupting those systems. What happens next? The FCC is seeking public input on these questions. Comments are due by May 1st, 2026, with reply comments due by May 18th, 2026. Industry stakeholders are expected to weigh in. Drone manufacturers, telecom providers, and public safety organizations all have a stake in the outcome. A defining question for the industry, the FCC's public notice goes beyond general support for drones. It focuses on the systems that will enable or limit growth. At its core, this is a question about infrastructure. Drones cannot scale without reliable communications. The decisions made in this proceeding may determine whether drones remain specialized tools or become part of everyday operations across industries. The future of the drone industry may depend not just on aircraft, but on the airwaves they use.